Let's just be 100% real with each other. This was very predictable. There is just no way no one saw this coming. Like, it was very obvious, Komurasaki, from the interactions, to the way the panels were created by Oda-sensei, to just seeing the last chapter. It's just very obvious that Komurasaki was going to be Hiyori, Momo's little sister, and everything fit perfectly aligned with the the tragic sister backstory of how she literally had to become basically like a geisha to be able to fit in, be protected, become something that's completely separate from what a noble princess would be. Everything made perfect sense. So seeing, the reveal at the end of this chapter, it really doesn't come as a surprise. It's really not surprising at all, but it does fit in with the story, and so I cannot blame Oda or, or anything like that, because it fits. It works, and I think nobody really should complain about it, but it's just not surprising whatsoever. But anyways, let's get into something that I've been seeing a lot since this chapter came out this past weekend, or around Friday or whatever. I've been seeing a lot of people complain about Zoro. Let's talk about it. So, to kind of explain, at the beginning of the chapter, Zoro, he passes out. And basically, the reason why he passed out was because the dude he was fighting, this named assassin, impelled him, which was a pretty brutal strike if you go back to the last chapter. And look, it was brutal. He got impelled, Zoro took the man out, Zoro passed out. Okay, he wakes up, and then, he basically states right then and there, he's like, it wasn't you the reason why I got defeated or why I passed out, it was my own skill, my lack of skill that caused this in the first place. Zoro basically admitted he was very naive, he wasn't paying attention, which caused it to where he got messed up like that. So, he admitted his own downfall, he admitted his weakness in that moment, he just wasn't really focusing at all in that fight. And all the fans, like Zoro fans and people that are not Zoro fans, are just all up in arms right now. Like, it's bad. It's a mess right now in the One Piece community. Like, what I've been seeing is just ridiculous. And so, to kind of clarify a couple things, basically, people are saying Zoro took a massive L. He took a massive L because the man passed out thanks to this dude impelling him. Now, granted, normal circumstances, being impelled, yeah, passing out makes sense. But the reason why people are saying it doesn't make sense is because when you look at Zoro's feats, everything that's been shown prior to this chapter, Zoro has had a lot of damage done to him. He's, gotten a lot of damage in many arcs to where he stood up where no normal man should be able to stand up, and he kept fighting. This has been time and time again we have seen this. Maybe not in the New World, but at the very least prior to the New World saga, Zoro was constantly taking damage and always basically getting back up. Let's look at Thriller Bark and how that was done. Like, Thriller was insane. Zoro took so much damage, and he still was standing after that. So, many are upset because Zoro basically knocked out after one stab wound. Even though it's brutal, one stab wound does kind of go against the feats that have been established. However, we gotta look at all of the underlining factors here, okay? Besides what Zoro himself stated in this chapter, we also gotta look at other little details. Number one, most likely the assassin has some form of poison-tipped weapon. For instance, think about it. It's an assassin, a guy that goes around, he's a criminal and attacks people. Assassins have poison and stuff, ways to incapacitate individuals. So, the dude having some form of poison-tipped weapon makes perfect sense, and that could be one of the reasons why Zoro passed out. But that's not the only reason. Another reason, too, is we gotta look at Zoro's record of eating things in Wano. Wano has been established to be a toxic country. Nothing is really edible, nothing is drinkable. The only thing that's really good to drink or eat is near the main capital. Besides that, everything is really bad for you, toxic, and will ruin your health. We have seen this multiple times displayed throughout this arc of One Piece. So, as we know, Zoro, he's been constantly eating bad food. He's been eating, tampered with food, like food from the stream, like he's been eating random animals that are toxic or whatever, and we know why Luffy's okay, because he's built up a tolerance. He's had so much poison done to him that poison doesn't really affect him anymore. Toxic stuff doesn't. But Zoro, that's the exact opposite. Zoro may be strong-willed, but at the same time, he hasn't built up the immunity to toxic food, toxic water. And I feel like that's one of the other reasons that's playing a thing here. It's slowly weakening his body to where he's not being able to operate or move as much as he wants. And he probably is completely unaware of it. He probably is not even aware of how much damage his body probably has because he just doesn't really think about it. And when it finally will be a major problem is later on in the arc after he's probably consumed a lot of toxic food. But that's my assumption. So I think at this point, the fans of Zoro that are extremely upset, or the people, making fun of Zoro, are not really getting the big picture here. Is that Zoro took an L because of lack of skill, because he just didn't pay attention, but also there's other little factors that Oda can easily throw in. So I think people need to chill, stop freaking out about it. Come on now, it's not that serious. Even though I'm a Zoro fan, I'm not getting all upset about Zoro passing out. Come on now, like, things happen, things have been built up like that. Don't overreact and think Oda's a bad writer just because Zoro passed out at the beginning of the chapter. But okay. Anyways, let's get into the real important stuff. So, besides that, let's talk about the traitor. Who is the traitor? I didn't mention this last week, but it's really vital, like really important for this chapter. Who's the traitor? There's so many things that come to mind now, because right now the symbol that is allowing people to join the cause for Momo and taking back the capital, all that of Wano, their symbol got leaked out. And the question is, how? We know that Beppo and them got caught, and because of how Law is, he's like, there's no way they would leak out that information. There's just no way. And if so, they didn't leak that out. Who is the traitor? Who really leaked out that information is the question. And if that is the case, who? I have to assume it's probably someone a part of the main cast. Someone that we've probably been around for a while. I mean, let's look at the Mink Tribe. Let's look at the samurai that we've encountered since the beginning of this journey in the New World. Let's look at Kinemon. Let's look at Momo. Let's look at Kanjuro. Let's look at the Minks. All of them are really good at lying, having a long con. I mean, let's look at what the Mink Tribe did. Like, we were introduced to them not really knowing about Raizo, and then we found out that Raizo was there the entire time, and they were willing to sacrifice their own lives to protect the man. That's the point there, is these characters that we've encountered, they really can hold on to a secret. They really can. And so, there has to be someone that is able to easily hold on to a secret, but also just a straight-up traitor. He's been a traitor since the very beginning. And since there's only a couple of characters that come to mind, I would assume it would have to be one of the main samurai. For instance, Kinemon, or Kanjuro, or Raizo. I highly doubt it's Kinemon. I have big doubts, because the way the journey has been with Kinemon, there's just no way he would be a traitor. So that kind of excludes him completely. Raizo, with how emotionally touched he was in the moment when the Mink Tribe was laying down their life, I just don't think Raizo would be that bad of a dude, especially from what we've seen from the prison. Kanjuro is someone that's a big mystery, because when you think about it, he was someone that, well, we didn't really know much of what was going on. Like, when he was down in the dungeon with Daffy and all that, he wasn't instantly executed, he wasn't turned into a toy, he was just hiding, and that was it. And the question I have about this is, like, what was going on there? Was he giving information up? Has he been giving information up? I mean, we also got to look at how apparently Daffy and all them, they knew about Momo. Remember, they were getting hunted down. The samurai was getting hunted down by Daffy. So, someone's been a traitor for a long time. And the only one that would make sense would be maybe Kanjuro. Or someone else we've yet to meet, or I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of question marks now, because I don't think it's Beppo and the Lost Crew that probably spilled the beans. There's probably going to be a major traitor, but I don't really know who it is. But like I said, I'm leaning more towards Kanjuro than anything else. Now, speaking of traitors, let's look at Kyoshiro. Kyoshiro, since Komurasaki / Hiyori is alive, this lets us know automatically that Kyoshiro is not a bad dude. He's a good guy. He's definitely on our side, because he would not allow someone like Komurasaki / Hiyori to live, especially after insulting Orochi like that. There's just no way. If he is a bad dude, instantly would have gotten rid of her, but he didn't. Which definitely means, after all the damage he's taken to his reputation and all that, he does care about Hiyori / Komurasaki, and he is probably working against Orochi / Kaido. So, I'm assuming he's a part of the main samurai group that are trying to be found, but it's probably not just that. I also believe that the man most likely is definitely connected to the Grandpa Hyo, that's inside of the prison. I just have that suspicion that he's connected in some way, like maybe family-wise, and that could be the reason. But for now, though, I will say he is not a bad dude. Definitely not. He definitely saved Komurasaki, which means that he's going to be an ally. And he's someone that Orochi trusts a lot. And so he is a perfect dude to be able to go behind the scenes and stab Orochi in the back when he least expects it. Now, speaking of behind the scenes, since we know that all the people that are traitors are getting rounded up and, seized / arrested, think about where they're having to go. It's obvious that these traitors are being probably put to the prison where Luffy's at. And what's going to happen very soon? Obviously, with or without Big Mom's help, Luffy's probably going to break out, which means that once that happens, all the people that are the traitors being put into that prison are probably going to be set free, which means all the forces in that moment will be free if following behind Luffy, Big Mom, etc., etc. That's what I assume is going on here, what Oda is setting up. With all these people being just locked up, they're in one place, one large army to rise up and fight back. That's definitely what Oda is doing. But okay, that's pretty much about it. I mean, it's a good chapter, but it's very short. There is some details here and there, but like I said, it's a very simplistic chapter that gets the point across that Zoro, he still has a lot of ways to go. Like, he still needs to improve in some areas, but he isn't that bad like everybody's trying to say. And also, the dude that's on the bridge that Zoro's trying to get back his sword, it couldn't have been, decided, he couldn't have been defeated that quickly. There needed to be more to that scene. Having the man defeated like that, like in this chapter or the next chapter, would have been too quick. There needs to be more proper build up to it, because it seems like the man knows a lot of information about the Black Blades and etc., etc. So having the man defeated instantly by Zoro, it wouldn't really probably hold as much weight. There definitely needs to be more to it, and I feel like there's more to the guy than we actually know. But okay, that's about it. I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. Because for some reason, even if you click the subscribe button, you don't always get notified. So if you want to get notified, hit that bell icon. And with that, Chibi out.